Let's get a quick take on the director of Denver's Housing and Opportunities for People Everywhere office resigning this week. Eric Sullivan was in the position for a little more than a year, and the city is now looking for a chief housing officer to step in. Patty Calhoun from Westward, there's more to this story than we can get into. You had a great piece in Westward about this. What do people need to know about the situation?
Well, it could be the curse of Westward, because we ran a cover story on Eric Sullivan and the plan he was working on to help with housing issues, 5-year plan. It's coming up before council next week, but it's already been watered down by people who are complaining. I think he was really visionary, and interestingly, he resigned after they started looking for a housing officer and moving the Hope office under Office of Economic Development. So I don't think this is a good sign for what's going to happen with affordable housing, which the Hancock administration has had 6 years to solve.
David Kopel from the Independence Institute and DU Law School. Affordable housing has been a perennial topic around this table for a while, especially as we've seen Denver grow. Is this not a good sign coming out of the city government, seeing this guy here for just over a year?
It seems to be something of a pattern in the Hancock administration and the Hickenlooper administration before, of having these big press conferences, and we're going to have this huge thing like Hickenlooper was actually going to eliminate homelessness in Denver. You know, Mayor Hancock says we're not going to have any traffic deaths in Denver, and so these goals that are impossible, really. But with all this fanfare that comes in, and then as the process goes on, you don't seem to get very far. Patty knows more of the inside story on this one, but I think it's another case of the administration having a vision but not having the capability to advance towards it.
Eric Sonneman, political analyst. Sullivan was hailed over a year ago as this new guy from Philadelphia. Is going to be really innovative. And I would imagine if someone's going to come in and be really innovative, that's going to be able to take some risks and given, I guess for lack of a better term, a long leash to do a lot of different things. Maybe that didn't work out so well this last year.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a consequence of sort of some infighting and bruised egos and bruised bureaucratic positions at City Hall. I don't know if it's more of a consequence of Michael Hancock starting to look, and to Patty's point, it's really closer to 7 than 6 years for Hancock, because re-election is now coming up in 15 months. And I think as Michael Hancock surveys the scene of where he is vulnerable, this issue, not just specifically housing, but more broadly defined gentrification and everything that goes with it, is probably, maybe along with traffic growth, congestion, his soft spot. And I think they're trying to figure out how to get a grip on that in advance of a re-election campaign.
Justine Sandoval, political activist, joins us, rounds out the panel. Tackling housing and gentrification, the issues that Eric just brought up, is a tough job in Denver. It's a tough job anywhere, but specifically right now. There's a lot of heat around it. Do you think that may have contributed to the decision?
Oh, absolutely. Being involved in a lot of the movements in the city around gentrification, a lot of groups have sprung up, and little neighborhood groups, larger groups have come together, and everybody wants to talk about this. And right now, we have had a lot of unsuccessful years with poor planning, laughable amounts of affordable housing showing up in the market. And I think that people are looking for someone to blame. And right now the mayor is the person that people are really going after. And so that is not a pleasurable job, I would think, to have right now in the city of Denver, especially with the climate going on around gentrification and housing. We have a really, really severe problem right now with affordable housing. And we keep having this discussion from, one end where, you have to be really, really poor, like under $17,000 for a 2-person household to afford any of this new housing. And make over $50,000 to afford anything in Denver. Right now, we need to be talking about and focusing on people in the middle and how we solve that. And I just think that this job was just a big job.